of everything else that's going on. See, look. We've been attempting going on with the pitching level of 31st, but it's not a lot of work because we've done it really.
Okay.
So Ellie, you've been working on Bob the Lamp, our research project. Could you just give us a bit of background about why Digit chose to research this project?
Yeah, sure. At Digit, we're an interactive digital agency, and we do a lot of website design, but we also look at physical interaction and the way that you can use physical installations to advertise ideas. I mean, we've been doing that for about 10 years, and we've come up with quite a lot of installations that have toured, and so we're always kind of looking at new technology and seeing how we can use this technology in our installations to portray our ideas and the ideas of our clients, and kind of get these ideas across in different ways that people can interact with installations and how this helps them kind of learn and communicate.
So where did the idea for Bob the Lamp actually come from?
Well, we didn't kind of decide on the desk lamp straight away. We were looking at lots of everyday objects, and the idea that just objects that surround your desk could have their own personalities and character, and the idea of the independent smart object. These objects that you use every day aren't always under your control. The kind of control's been taken away from you, and they're being fed their control from a source in the internet, or kind of a wider source. So in this case, Bob the Lamp is controlled from the BBC News feed. So this feed determines its behaviour. Processes it, and he has a database of good and bad words. So good words are kind of like joy, peace, happiness, victory, or bad words like death, war, bomb, terror, attack. And he calculates kind of how many good words, how many bad words, which one wins, and then reacts accordingly. And basically, if the news is really bad, he kind of motors down, curls down, and the light goes blue. And if it's good, then he kind of curls up and the light goes yellow. Also, we kind of wanted to look at the idea of, we have a kind of overload of visual data on the screen. I mean, people start their morning and they log on to MSN homepage, and this will pull in like a news feed, a weather feed, a stock market feed, and this can all kind of be a bit overloading. So it's the idea that we wanted to take some of this data off the screen and into kind of the physical world that kind of initially surrounds the desk. So this is kind of what Bob is. It's kind of a more subtler way of like viewing the news. With the design of the lamp, we collaborated with a furniture designer, and he came up with the idea of making the neck of the lamp out of different segments. So I guess it's more like a kind of backbone of the animal, so it kind of coils down and kind of bends up depending on its mood, which I quite like because it makes it more organic, I think, and it's like it's more alive and gives it a bit more character. When I first made the initial Bob, he was kind of a hacked IKEA desk lamp, so we basically just took the springs out of a desk lamp, fitted it with string and pulley and taped a motor to the base, and just powered him like that. But the movements were very jerky and abrupt, and I think we were kind of moving towards something quite smoother. And I think also with the kind of metal traditional desk lamp, it's a bit too similar to the Pixar lamp, and we kind of wanted to move away from that to something quite different. So that's another reason why it's made out of wood and it's organic and curved.
So he must be quite depressed reading the news all the time. Is there other way for people to interact with him?
Yeah, I mean, that's because he was in the office the whole time and he was always depressed and people were always worried about him. That's why we thought it'd be really nice if they could actually directly interact with him and maybe send him messages that would cheer him up instead of just saying, "Cheer up, Bob." So we kind of wanted to give him an online presence. So like in the same way that we use MSN Messenger to communicate with each other, in the office environment, it'd be nice if Bob was there and you could send messages to him and he would react to that. So in the end, we created a kind of his own online chat room, and we host that on our server at work, and Bob's positioned in the office, and people can log on, chat to him, send him messages, tell him to cheer up, and then he reacts to it. So I think that's quite nice. People can, you know, although he's reading the news and, you know, he's representing what's going on in the outside world, he can always, you know, he can kind of become a bit more internal, and you can actually talk to him as well. And the electronics inside Bob mostly consist of an Arduino board, which we use as a microcontroller, which takes in all the data and processes it. This then controls the motor, which controls the neck of the lamp, so it's motoring it down or motoring it up. It also controls the RGB LED, so this is mixing colours between like blue when it's really sad or yellow when it's really happy, and even in between, you know, you've got kind of shades of purple or greeny orange, to kind of show the in-between stages. At the moment we're also sending information through processing, which is another kind of open source program that processes the data on the computer and then sends the information to Arduino. So together, yeah, they work really well. We presented Bob at the ICA actually last November, and the ICA is the Institute for Contemporary Art. That was when he was still in his first prototype form. But, they had this talk, BD40, which is by designers for designers. And yeah, we took him there in his metal hat, IKEA desk lamp form. And yeah, we talked about him and we demonstrated him, and it was nice in the interval, like people came up and they could interact with him and chat to him. And it was good because his chat webpage was projected on a giant screen behind, so people sitting in the audience, which was actually quite a lot of people, could kind of see what he was saying and see his conversations, which was quite funny. He doesn't really need much space when you're exhibiting him at all. All he really needs is power, a computer to gather the information, read the data and process it, a keyboard for people to type messages to him, and what I think's a good way of displaying the chat webpage is kind of projection onto just a blank wall. So then people can see what other people are writing and see Bob's responses, and just in the past that's worked quite well. Maybe a plinth for Bob to stand on, but yeah, not much.